Thank you for coming. 感谢大家今天出来。I want to introduce Reverend Michael Yoshii from Buena Vista. 我要介绍一下给大家 Reverend Michael Yoshii 从我们的一个阿拉米达的教会过来的，所以我们感谢他今天能够帮我们带领我们的年教会合会，或者有些人叫教会年会。So we want to thank you for coming, Michael, and for leading our church charge conference. There's a debate right now about what church conference or charge conference is.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, thank you and good afternoon. So as Emily is here, I'm pastor at Buena Vista Methodist Church.
我是从 Buena Vista Church 来的牧师。
And we have the privilege of being in a circuit where pastors meet together and then we presided each other's church conferences.
我跟Emily牧师是同属一个教区小组教牧的同工，那我们就是这样子轮流到各教会，我们怎么讲呢？就是我们到对方的教会去主持合会。
I believe you all have the agenda for today. It's in front of us.
Saving paper this year.
Okay, saving paper.
为了节省送纸，所以我们今年的议程都打在 PowerPoint 上面。
So we'll open with our opening prayer song, God of Our Life.
那我们用一首诗来开始我们的开会。
Verses 1 and 2. May Christ's Spirit be with us as we share the business of the Charge Conference today.
愿神的灵与我们同在，让我们开会的时候，他这里保守我们。
On agenda number 3 is the business of the annual church charge conference.
在第3项的地方呢，是我们今天要所讨论的事项 business。
And we'll begin with the report of the Committee on Nominations and the Leadership.
我们就开始请这提名委员会的委员做报告。
So let me take one and pass one down. Or share if you like.
如果不够的话，我们互相看，好，一起看。
So the Committee on Nominations and Leadership Development has met probably 4 or 5 times, Peggy, this last year to talk about our gifts and graces and how we can best put them to use.
我们去年一整年的提名委员会开了4次或5次的会议，那我们每次的讨论呢，就是看上帝有给我们怎么样的恩赐，让我们的当中有怎么样的人，我们可以把它放在最适当的地方，可以来服侍。
So I want to give thanks for everybody who has served in the last year.
我们感谢去年整年为我们教会的事工做服事的兄弟姐妹，不管你们的岗位是什么。
Also those who will be continuing to serve in the coming year.
我们也很感谢在明年也要为我们服事为教会服事的兄弟姐妹。
And the new people that are coming on for the first time.
有的是第一次做服事。
So let me walk you through this one, starting with the trustees. Some people are trustees by office. 就是他们的岗位是因为他们的岗位的怎么讲啊？职责就是一同来的，可以这样讲吗？
有的 trustee 的委员呢，是因为他们担任某种事工，自然就会成为这个 trustee 的一员。
So, starting with the trustees, this year we have a big change in that we have had a chair of trustees for Vince, how long? More than 17 years, right?
Vince 他已经有7年当这 trustee 的一员哈。
And Vince is rolling off of that role, but he is going to be rolling on to SBRB.
今年呢就设完在这个委员会，但是明年他就要到教牧关系会。
So we really do want to give thanks, and we'll hear from Vince a little bit later.
我们真的很感谢他这多年来的。
The new incoming boat chair, Board of Administration and Trustees, is actually Richard.
Trustee 的是 Richard， 他是从教牧关系委员会跑过来的，好像交换的这样子。
So under the trustees, the 2 new people are in bold, and it's Richard as president of boat and Yvonne as a lay leader CMC chair. Michael, do you want these one by one?
We'll take them as
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole CNLB thing. Okay.
well, no, I mean, we'll take trustees and then this.
So we want to, I know Veronica is sitting in back because she's not feeling very well today, but everybody, we want to give thanks, of course, to Becky and Steve, who are the English side, sort of parallel with Yvonne in the coming year. We want to give thanks for Al's continued care and love for the church and the church buildings. We want to give thanks to our really hardworking finance team of Adrian, Arlene, Walter, who's not a trustee, but also and also the outgoing finance secretary, Laura Chan. So thank you each, and these are the 9 trustees before you.
Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve this election of your trustees.
我们是不是要提议接纳这9位的董事委那个信托委员？
I told you. Moved by Vince and second.
提议接纳，有没有人复议？
And all in favor, say.
请说爱。
Any opposed?
反对的。
Any abstentions?
有没有人保持什么其他的意见？
Okay, so your trustees have been elected. Maybe I'll say amen.
Amen. 信托委员已经选举完了。
We will go to the nomination committee.
Okay, so for the nominations committee, 提名小组 this year, we want to give thanks. You know, it's funny, sometimes people have served several terms, and you think you would want to roll off, but some people really love certain ministries.
这个事情有点好玩哈，有的人呢，他其实很喜欢在这个委员会里面 serve， 所以就一直在这个里面的。
And that person is Ed Lang. He's upstairs counting at the moment.
他是喜欢在这个委员会里面为我们做服事。
So when we were talking about who, you know, Ed, thank you so much for serving. He actually served an extra year already. I said, thank you so much. Who should we find? He said, me.
所以牧师哥说， 你已经在这个委员会担任很久了，你是不是觉得需要休息一下？那我们可以找谁呢？他就会再自愿说，我愿意再做。
And we want to also give thanks for the second incoming person, which is Leo. So Peggy Woon, who is the only person rolling off this year, was very gracious over the last 3 years. She hates meetings with complete passion, and yet because Derek, you asked her and encouraged her, she came on and faithfully served for all 3 years of here.
虽然他今年退任，他设了一任那虽然当初他其实不是很喜欢在这个地方服侍，但是他还是用信心回应这个 call 来做这个服侍，谢谢他。
Yes. So our Ed and Leo are the incoming class. Lucy, Francis, and Leela continue on, as well as Becky and Steven and Yvonne by office. 有这个旁边。All right, that's it.
Okay, so this is before you, the election of the members of the Committee on Nominations and Leadership Development.
所以这是提名小组的名单，提议名单。
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve this election?
我们提议来接纳这个名单，有谁提议？有谁提议？Richard。
Moved by Richard, and second.
有没有人复议通过这个名单，接纳这个名单？
Seconded by Vince.
对，复议有位置。
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
反对的，
Any abstentions?
有没有其他的意见的？
Okay, so your Leadership Development and Nominations Committee has been elected. Maybe say amen.
Amen.
And we now go to the remaining officers and committee members.
All right.
其他各组的组长、组员，我们来看。
So I just want to walk through this with you. We have a board of admin and trustees, and for the most part, it's just all the trustees with some additions. So, for example, Walter is an addition as assistant church treasurer, as is the financial secretary, and our annual conference lay delegate, who happens to be our English ministry co-lay leader. So I just want to call your attention to the fact that Laura, after many years of service, I promised her that whether there is somebody there to replace her or not, would be able to end her term this year. So I want to put it out for all of you to consider. But Ed offered, but I said, your wife is the church treasurer. You can't do it. So we want to give thanks for his enthusiasm. Yes.
我们看到这边有行政与信托部门的委员们哈，那特别这边提到 Walter 哈，他愿意加入来做这个 chair。刚刚 Emily 牧师说Laura 呢，在今年她要退任非常感谢她的服侍。那还有说谁 ？Becky
就这样子。
对。
And for the first time, I put in our counters into this just so that you have a sense of people that serve in and out of the church. These are people that take a week at a time and count our offering and make sure it gets deposited to the bank account. So I want to give thanks particularly to Ben and Ed, who are coming on new and they're counting right now, as well as Derek and Teresa.
星期为我们数奉献的人财务部的，那一星期一次数我们的奉献，并且把它存到银行里面。所以我们现在有 Ben、Ed 和 Teresa 在帮忙在这边，还有 Derek， 谢谢。
So then our staff and parish relations board, what a hefty job Richard and all of the members have had in the last 3 years. I'm sorry with my coming, you have not had a very easy time at it. So we want to give great thanks to Richard for his steady leadership through all the years of transition that we've had.
特别要感谢 Richard。部的组长 Richard 过去3年这个教会的这个过渡时 时期，有领导方面呢有过渡的时期，他在这边做很好的服侍，稳住教会的大局，我们也很感谢他。
Yeah. So this year, the outgoing class are Irene, Richard, and Yvonne.
退任的有 Irene, Richard, and Yvonne.
And the incoming are Vince, Peggy, who says she hates meeting, but she volunteered. I did not tell her. Yay! And Yulander, who said, I will give it 1 year trial.
All right.
有新的委员有 Vince, Peggy, and Yulander 要适应。
So we give them great thanks. I want you to know that Jane has agreed to be sort of a the chair in the coming year. She's not able to be with us today because she's serving through the Red Cross on the East Coast.
那再来牧官部的部长呢，Jane 呢愿意在试1年是吗？试1年，所以我们为他祷告哈，他愿意试，那我们希望他可以做更久。
You know, it's very interesting, the Lang gang, because she's also said, what if I like it and I want to do it more than 1 year? Yeah. The enthusiasm of the Langs.
他甚至会说，如果我做得很好，想要做更久，这样是不是很好？
So I'm going to share also about the membership and membership care team for the whole church. We transitioned to that about 2 years ago. This year, Helena rolls off. Yulander, Donna, Jane, and Brenda continue on with the addition, and this came very late, so it didn't make it into the printing. But you can also add Mabel.
All right.
我们的关怀组特别是看好关怀组，我们有 Yulander, Donna, Jane, and Mabel Lee.
So over the last year, I just want to lift up their ministry because they are the ones who launched back in May our shepherding ministry and have really continued to enable that to grow.
他们呢有在5月的时候有组成的牧养小组，就是分组来照顾每一个会友，这样，所以每个会友都可以受到照顾这样。
And in the coming year, their goal will be to publish a bilingual pictorial directory.
所以明年呢，这每一个小组就要做一份这个双语的通讯录，这样子，这个小组里面的组员可以互相联络，增强这个bonding关怀。
So thank you. And for our Chinese Language Ministry Council, CCUMC, after a 1 year vacancy of the chair, after the Venerable Leo Lin stepped down, we want to give thanks for Yvonne for saying yes. Also, on 1 year.
中文施工路已经有1年没有主席部长和主席，那么很感谢Yvonne愿意说试1年看看，但是我们为他祷告，让他愿意做更久，是这个很充满挑战的一个岗位。谢谢。
We want to call attention that there is an opening for the vice chair in that ministry council. And the only new addition, and I apologize, I forgot to do it in bold, was the chair of the worship committee on the CMC is Ying Zhou.
我们在中文施工部呢，本来这个 team 崇拜组一直都没有组长，但是呢，阿英呢，她经过祷告，透过她的祷告，她愿意，她答应要来当这个组长，所以我们现在有一个崇拜组长。
So we want to give thanks to the many years of service of Helena Lin, who was a part of that role, and how she continues to support and love the church. And in her new year, she will take on the chair of choir.
Yay!
大家都很兴奋哈，因为那个之前呢，崇拜组的组长都是 Helena 在当，她已经呢在这边侍奉了很久，20年那么久，那她照顾了大小事情。那今年呢，她退了，现在阿英来接。那但是 Helena 她继续的用她服侍的经验，她现在要当 choir 诗班的这个领导来继续她的才华跟服侍，所以很高兴。
And then we move to the next page and lift up those on the English Ministry Council. It's quite of a stable group. So our lay leaders, Becky and Steve, worship Ari, Charlie, who's responsible for congregational nurture and development, and Ben, witness and invitation. And for the first time, I also listed the missions ministry team because it's sort of a hefty team that meets pretty regularly, as well as those who serve on the children and youth Sunday school ministry.
那我们感谢英文事工部的同工哈，刚刚有说的主席，还有崇拜组的，还有关怀，甚至最新的这个外展部的这个团队因为大家的服侍，所以英文事工部的非常的稳定的成长这样子。
And finally, we have our foundation committee. We give thanks for Ben's leadership on that. This past year, they finalized their what is it, the policy handbook? Yeah, so that was a big thing for the foundation. So Ben, Vince, Pauline, Stephen, and Leo.
我们最后呢要讲这个基金会组员由 Ben 领导，那么他们最近呢有一个手册就是执行手册，然后指导他们这个基金会要怎么样的来做他们的事工，有一个规定。一个手册，所以这是他们最近的一个进展。
So these are all before you, remaining officers and committees for the entire church.
所以现在我们刚刚已经看过所有这些每个事工部的这服事的兄弟姐妹，大家有没有意见？现在我们是不是要同意来接纳所有的这些员工、这里的人 ？Okay, please.
Question.
I have a question on the SPRD. Is there a class 2012 to 14 that should be acknowledged and retained?
2014.
2012 to 2014.
Why, yes, it looks like there should be.
牧官部这边，我们是不是要加另外一个 class 的服务的委员，就是2012年到2014年来 serve 的？
Well, what I would say, yes, there should be, and I think, Vince, the only thing I would tell you right now is we went back to a class structure only last year, and so it's sort of like putting people in funny places and kind of going around the table and be like, how long have you been here? How long have you been here? How long? Kind of like trying. So I will go back and clean that up some more.
So are the people left off of this list?
No, there's nobody that's left off.
Oh, so there is no class.
Yeah,
we didn't elect a
yeah,
class for
yeah,
2014.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
目前呢，我们只有2个 class， 就是2011到12，还有2011到13，我们并没有再有更多的一个 class 可以 cover 到2014。
Vince is already on the job.
已经开始在当牧官部的组长。
He said he'll volunteer to be in that class.
Good try, good try.
Any other questions?
还有没有其他的？
Well, there's a correction, but Vince didn't want to say anything. Up there where it's kind of bold, it says Vince President of Hope. Should be Vice.
Where is it?
Vice,
On the very
vice
top of that same page.
Under,
It's right. It's a misprint under the lay numbers. Right under that bolded section, it shouldn't say Vince. It should say Vice.
这边有一个打错字那个第2页最上面，第2页最上面那个是打错字，有那个 shadow 有暗暗的那个地方，它是应该说是 vote 的副主席，不是要写 Vince， 是 vice。
It's name, it's a name.
any other questions or clarifications?
What was that?
What page? The very top, the bold is a
Page 2.
typo.
Yeah, it's natural looking.
This is already in
I tried. Any other questions or clarifications?
还有没有其他要澄清或其他不明白的地方有问题的？
I am sure God is pleased with your enthusiasm to serve.
我想上帝会因为我们热心的服侍，非常的悦纳，非常高兴。
And your care to take on the responsibilities to uphold the offices of this church.
还有你们花的这个心力，在服侍事工方面所做的努力。
So these are now all before you for the election of the remaining officers and committee members. If you could have a motion to approve these.
所以我们刚刚提的各组的组员在这里，有没有人提议来接纳所有这些所有事工部的服侍的兄弟姐妹？有没有人提议要接纳所有的这些名单
Moved by Derek.
？Derek 提议接纳，有
Second.
没有人复议 ？OK，Brenda，
Second from Brenda.
He made me.
Anybody can do that.
So moved by Derek, second by Brenda. All in favor?
大家都赞成的，请按。
Any opposed?
有没有反对的？
Any abstentions?
有没有其他的意见的？
And so it is. Maybe say amen.
Amen.
Okay. Now we move on to item B under our business, which is certification and recertification of lay servants. Take it one at a time.
Sure. So these four are returning lay servants, and even though the United Methodist Church has changed their name from lay speaker to lay servant, the four that we have here continue to speak and preach, and we give thanks for that. So we lift up Richard Fong as certified lay servant.
Is Richard here? This is Richard? Okay. Richard, want to share any words with us?
Hello, Richard. I continue to learn in my spiritual walk, and by serving as a lay servant exposes me to a different level and a closeness to my ultimate goal.
借着这个服侍，我自己的灵性成长也是继续在进步。
Okay, good.
So as we celebrate Richard continuing this role, may we have a motion to approve recertification for his role as lay servant.
我们有没有人要提议让他可以继续在我们教会继续担任这个平信徒讲员的这个职务？一棒
Moves.
一棒提议，
Second.
有没有人复议 ？Harry，
Any seconds? And all in favor, say aye.
同意的，
Any opposed?
有没有反对的？
Any abstentions?
有没有其他的意见？
And may we say amen.
Amen.
Next person.
The next person is Becky, who is up here, and we give thanks. Hand it over to you.
Becky, you want to share a word?
Just give thanks to God's guidance for drawing me in this ministry.
感谢上帝的带领，让我能够在这一个事工上面尽我的能力。
So for approval of Becky's recertification, may we have a motion?
赞成Becky 能够继续来担任我们讲员的职分的，我们可以提议。有谁提议来接纳？没有。
Leo. Moved by Leo. Second.
Donna.
All in favor, say
赞
aye.
成的。
I just want to say those who first and second may become lay servants next.
You can't take your vote back. Any opposed? Any opposed?
有没有反对的？
Any abstentions?
有没有任何的其他任何的意见？
So we approve recertification for Becky Wong, and we say amen.
Amen.
And our next is Bridget.
Birkin, who is not here today because, well, I just want to say, he insisted that we move our charge conference date from December 2nd to the 9th so that he could attend. As life happens, he's not here as it
Vote on him anyway. So can we have a motion for his recertification?
虽然他不在，是不是我们也在此提议他可以继续侍奉这个侍位这个岗位？
不要怕，Leo。
Donna, so moved.
那提议接纳。I'll second。
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
有没有反对？
Any abstentions?
其他的意见的？
It is so approved for Brithian's recertification that we say amen.
Amen.
Finally.
So a special word about Derek Lang, who is not only going for recertification, but over the last year became also a certified lay minister in our annual conference. Yeah, I know you're going to say something. Don't correct him. And continues in discernment for how God is calling him to serve.
Derek, you want to share a word?
Don't correct.
It's just always a joy to grow with this congregation, and look forward to next year.
呀，我很高兴可以在这个信仰团体跟大家一起成长，灵性上的成长。
Let us call for a motion to approve Derek's recertification.
有没有人提案接纳 ？L
And a second.
Richard 复议。
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
有没有人反对？
Any abstentions?
还有其他的意见的吗？
So we say amen.
Amen.
Let me just say a word about lay servants, and if you're not aware, you probably are aware of that. There's a strong emphasis now in the conference on lay leadership and lay servant ministry.
我们现在呢，在我们 UMC 呢特别强调，或许我们有注意，或许没有，我们非常强调用平信徒来当领导，来做这个宣教的事工。
Your pastor is one of the strongest advocates for this, I think, in the conference.
我们的牧师对于特别这项事工呢，非常的努力想要把这个推动的更往前一步的发展，更多的平信徒可以。
So as you work in partnership in ministry, it's good for us to lift up the leadership coming from the laity and the ways in which your ministry is multiplied throughout the conference.
我们的平信徒的领导如果能够更多，我们教会的成长就可以更加加倍。
And so we want to celebrate those who've been recertified today and really wish you well for the work and ministry that you'll be doing in the year ahead.
所以我们特别感谢这些平信徒讲员，他们参与这样子的一个领导，然后真的是用他们的心力来帮助我们这个教会的这个灵性的成长。
Let's move now to item C in our business, acknowledging clergy related to the conference.
那我们来讨论下面一个事项是外派牧师的报告。
Can you say a word about these two?
Sure. So Jeffrey Kwan and Mai An Tran continue to be in relationship with this church.
Jeffrey 邝牧师呢，这个跟我们这个教会的关系呢，一直是保持很密切的，好像是不是我们教会才。
Yeah, so the confusion is here. When somebody is ordained, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but they do not serve in a local church, what we do is they continue to be in relationship with the local church, but they're appointed to extension ministry.
OK， 虽然这个关牧师呢，他是一个案例的牧师，但是他没有在我们的教会服侍。 但是他跟我们教会呢，就好像是一个，好像有母子关系这样。我们把他派出去，我们让他出去外面来做服侍这样子，所以跟我们的关系还是很密切的。
Yeah. So they submit a letter each year just to let us know how they're doing and what they're doing. And again, in terms of conserving paper, I made 3 copies for anybody who would like to read about them. But one of the things that my aunt does lift up is their new addition to the Tran family just in the last couple of months, actually.
OK， 所以他们每年呢都会有写份工作报告，让我们知道他们在外面做的施工是怎么样的一个内容。这边有3份，如果有兴趣的，你们可以来拿去看这样子。
So we remember Jeffrey is in New Jersey at Drew Theological College, Drew Theological School. And my aunt is at Eden Seminary in St. Louis.
所以关牧师现在是在 New Jersey 的 Drew 大学里面教神学。
And my aunt is in Eden.
My aunt 是在伊甸园神学院里面教学。
As Emily has shared with you, all people in ministry are connected to a local congregation.
我们这些差派出去的牧师呢，他还是刚刚提了，还是跟我们的教会有密切的关系。
And for both Jeffrey and Mayan to be connected to this congregation, you may want to see them as an extension of your ministry here.
所以呢，我们要把他们看成是我们的伸展出去的一个事工，好像是我们教会也透过他们在那个地方做事工。
And so it's also your prerogative to ask them to do things for you on behalf of the congregation.
所以如果你对他有什么期待或要求，你们也是可以这样子跟他沟通。
Because they are part of your ministry.
因为我们是透过他们在那里做事工。
So let's take first our affirmation of Jeffrey Kwan's connection to this congregation and this church conference, and if we have a motion to reaffirm his place in this congregation.
所以我们现在来提案，是不是我们要确认关牧师还有美安跟我们教会的这样子一个事工上的一个关联我们如果这样子确认他们是我们这样子在对外的事工的伸展，我们如果确认这样的关系，我们来提案接纳。Derek 提案接纳。
And second.
Alice
moves. And all in favor, say aye.
赞成的请说aye。
Any opposed?
有没有反对？
Any abstentions?
或者其他的意见？
So it is, maybe say amen.
Amen.
And for Reverend Dr. Nan Shan, could we have a motion to affirm her connection to this congregation?
同样的，有没有人接纳？Richard 提案接纳没按 track。
Second.
复议的有没有人提案复议 ？Yvonne.
And all in favor, say aye.
赞成。
Any opposed?
反对的人
Any abstentions?
有没有其他的意见？
We have one abstention for the record. We give thanks to God for abstentions. He said he's abstaining because he doesn't know them, so that's very appropriate.
他保留他的意见，因为他并不是很知道这件事情。
Well, then would it be nice to invite Mayan to speak at our church? It's been several years.
因为有人不是很清楚，那是不是我们给一个机会，请美安可以来到我们这边来说明他在这个学校做的事情，让我们知道我们真的透过他在外面做了什么宣教的事情。
Okay. So these are both approved. May we say amen.
Amen.
Now we'll move on to item D of our membership report.
那么现在呢，到下一个事项会有动态报告。
All right, so for our membership report this year, I want to just put, again, I'm trying to save paper, so I put everything before you. So I wanted to let you know, at last year's charge conference, on our rolls, we had 169 members. 5 members were received, and we'll highlight them in just a second, and 16 were removed. And so our membership as of today is 158.
现在我们在这个表上看见的呢，就是我们最新的一个资料，就是本来我们去年合会的时候，我们的报告是有169位会友。那么今年我们总共有5个会友入会，那有16个会友呢，他因为各种不同的原因离开了这个教会，不在我们的教会名单里了。那么所以现在到今天为止呢，我们总共有158位会友。
So let's just take a look at those that have been received. We have 5. There's sort of little things that you have to fill in. So we see that 3 of the folks that were received are from other denominations and came into the church. 2 people were baptized, and so we're professing faith.
在这5个我们今年接受的会友里面呢，有3个是从其他教派来的，就是这个145那么第2跟第4呢是在本会接受洗礼，然后成为会友的。
So we want to give thanks to Jonathan and Teresa, who are both here.
所以Teresa 今天也在这里，还有 Jonathan。
Next, discussing members who have been removed, and you'll see the different reasons on the side, whether it's through death, withdrawal, or transfer. So a couple of things I just want to lift up. The first person you just saw, Shutong Wu, was baptized just this last year and then passed away approximately 10 days later. But one of the things that I want to just lift up is how special it was to his wife and both him that he developed this relationship in his last days, actually.
那么现在看的这个名单呢，是已经就是除名的会有的名单，也有是因为死亡，或者是就是从这里呢去到别的教会，或者是呢因为其他工作的关系换到别的 UMC 去了，转会籍了。那么特别 Emily 牧师要提的是第一位这个 Shutong Wu。这个他在去世之前的10几天才接受洗礼，但是呢，接受洗礼之后，他跟他太太之间经过的个信仰灵命的这个成长呢，是非常巨大的一个转变。那所以他虽然是接受洗礼之后10几天就去世了，但是这是值得祝福、向大家报道的事情。
The other thing that I just want to mention is that in the last 2 years, part of my work that I never quite got to was actually to really go through the roles with our membership care team to check in with folks that we might not see very often. And so part of you might think, wow, this list is so long this year, right? And part of the reason is I really took it on myself to get in touch with those that I might have already known, actually are part of different churches, but have never just officially just said, hey, we recognize that you've transferred, and so we're going to recognize that in our own membership lists. So part of that has just been, some of you will see your family members up there, and you've known that they've been going to a different church for years, right? And this is just an acknowledgement of that in part.
Emily 牧师呢，就跟我们的关怀部呢，把这个名单呢厘清出来。为什么这么长的这个名单？其实有些的名单其实是好多年以前他们已经都到别的教会，只是我们没有经过讨论整理，所以直到今年我们做了整理，才确认说 OK， 这样的这些人呢已经不在了，或者是已经到别的教会去聚会。
So we will be going through a process. This was in some ways a first move. You'll see on this next list then, in active membership, first year. It's a 3-year list process that we have. This is part of that intentionality that we're moving towards. One of the things that we talk about in worship is that we want to move membership from a passive, like gym membership, to understanding that membership represents an intentional and active discipleship. And so part of that is just also recognizing that some people we haven't seen, we've tried to be in touch and we just haven't been in touch. And so this helps us recognize who we need to pay special attention to in our community.
You haven't seen those people for a year?
At least.
Okay.
所以今年关怀组的一个努力呢，就是我们尽快的发现一些已经比较不常来的会友，已经1年没来的，这个就是说1年都不太出现的。那我们可以尽早的呢，可以跟他们保持联络，来看看怎么样再跟他们重新接上来，这样子，不用再等好多年之后才说哦，这些人已经好久没来。我们要趁时间还没有太久的时候，可以赶快再了解说什么原因让他们不来。我们特别也要注意说，让我们的会友知道，我们不是一个被动的状态在当会友，我们是要很积极的来当一个门徒，来参与这个侍奉跟礼拜。
Another thing I would just lift up is I recognize that these lists can be a little bit sensitive. Some folks think, why is my family member up there, right? Or you might be thinking, that person shouldn't be there because we know them, right? And so part of it is I want to take away the stigma, right? It's not like, oh, these people are bad and we're just waiting to kick them off the list. It's not like that at all. But this list is for us to recognize how we need to be more intentional in following up with these folks to ensure that they are connected to some community or to support their spiritual walk wherever that's taken them.
所以我们看这个名单，或许这个名单有点敏感，你会觉得为什么我的家人在那里？这个我的家人跟我都有关联的，怎么会变成是好像不在这个教会里面？那其实这个名单其实是对我们教会的一个提醒，这些人是我们要赶快再重新去把他们接上来的。这并不是说他们不好啦，或是怎么样，是对我们自己的一个提醒。
Thank you.
So before we vote to receive the membership report, if there are any questions that you know about it.
有没有什么问题？
Actually, two slides ago, I think you had removed 16 is the list. There you go. But when you go to the list of those,
Yeah, the different. Interesting. I was going to say the distinction. I will have to go back and double check.
What was the question?
Oh, this lists only 15 people being removed, but the previous slide shows 16.
有2个表格不太一致，因为第一个表格那里有说16个人已经离开这个教会，但是这里只有15个人的名单。
We have on paper here 16.
Yeah.
所以我们要再 check 一下，还有谁落掉了？
I don't know.
Oh, this list just skips from 4 to 6.
Oh, that's why. Good catch.
So maybe you're only removing 15?
Yes, that's correct.
You just gained a member. So we'll need to change your total members removed to 15, and then that means your total membership will be 159. Good catch, Derek.
看得很清楚哈。所以我们总人数应该是159，是吗？
Yeah.
谢谢 ，Barrett 注意力非常的仔细。
Any other questions about this report?
还有没有其他关于这个会员人数的报告？有没有其他的问题或者是不清楚的地方？
Okay. If not, then let's entertain a motion to receive this report.
如果没有其他的问题，是不是有人会愿意提案接纳这个会员的报告、会员动态的报告 ？Every 提案接纳。
Second.
Yvonne 复议接纳。
All in favor, say aye.
赞成的。
Any opposed?
有没有反对的？
Any abstentions?
有没有保留意见？
It is now received. Can we say thanks be to God?
Thanks be to God.
Okay, so we move on to our final piece of business, which is the approval of the 2013 pastoral compensation package. Who will present that? Richard?
最后一个部分我们要来讨论牧师的津贴，由牧官部的组长 Richard 来做一个报告。
As chair, SPRB, I used the pastor's compensation benefits and reimbursements report, and you can see on the cash salary, the previous total cash salary was $40,855. No translation?
You want me to?
No. Okay. And then there is a 1.7 cost of living increase and a 5% merit increase, which brings the new total cash salary to $43,593. The housing allowance remains the same, $26,552. We move to the back page. The total of that, 912, is $73,145. Pension benefit is $12,708. And there's a $5,000 reimbursable, accountable reimbursable expense, which grand totals $90,853. And SPRB asks for your approval.
So are there any questions about the compensation package?
牧师的津贴各种项目的内容有没有人提意见？
If there are no questions, let's call for a motion to approve the compensation package.
如果没有，是不是有人会愿意提案来接纳这一个今天的方案？遗忘提案接纳，
Second, please.
有没有人复议接纳 ？Sarah 跟 Vince，
Second from Vince. All in favor, say aye.
同意的，
Any opposed?
有没有反对的？
Any abstentions?
有没有要保留意见的？
So it is passed, and we say amen.
Amen.
So all of our business has been completed. We'll move to a short time of holy conferencing, and we're going to hear some words from Vince Wong, outgoing chair of the Board of Administration Trustees.
I was looking for the next slide.
Next time.
Holy conference. Okay. I thought I was just going to do a few minutes of reflection, which this might be. I was going to start off by reading, and I will start off by reading Ecclesiastes 3, and many of you have heard it before. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones again, together. A time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to throw away. A time to tear, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace. Did you want?
So do it as a whole. 意思，他就讲到最后。
刚刚 Vince 为我们读了一段经文，是从传道书第3章记载在传道书第3章是在讲上帝有他的时，凡事有时，万物有他的时。我想对这个经文都很熟悉，我没有办法理解。
I first heard these words about 50 years ago on the radio, listening to top 50 music. Turn. Yes, I know many of you first heard these words then by the Byrds. It was actually written by Pete Seeger. And I learned that this song is one of the popular songs that is the oldest in terms of lyrics, because it was penned 3,100 years ago by King Solomon. So this is the old. So what made me think about these words is what we're doing here. We're going through changes, and we're always going through changes. God has watched over us here, watched over CCUMC, and it's time to changing. When I first became chair or president of VOTE, it was because Peter Lau said, we need to streamline, we need to change our structure and combine the Council of Ministries with the Board of Trustees, and I happen to be the chair of the Board of the Council of Ministries, so I was selected to be the president of the Board of Education, Board of Administration, I don't even know, Board of Administration, and Trustees. So I was the first president of VOTE, and that was 10, 15, 17 years, I don't know. I mean, it was a long time ago. So when Pastor Emily asked me to share a little bit about my time, I'm thinking of the change. And although I've been in this position for a long time, the timing was never right. God was never didn't sense it was right for a change until now. And I think the timing is right now. I know the timing is right now because God chooses and changes according to His time. So I want to thank all the folks here at the church and wherever I look for the support that I've had as president of the board of administration and trustees. And I know that God will be with the current board members and with Richard as he moves us forward in a more progressive manner.
刚刚这个 Vince 分享的这个经文，他说是15年前他在 radio 听到一首歌，特别有这个经文，他很感动这样啊。那他是在说，我们人生的变化都一直是有的，那我们教会也是，但是呢，上帝一直在这个历史的变化当中都看着我们。那么他当初来当 board 的这个主席呢，是因为刘牧师当时候就邀请他来当这个 board 的主席，而且对他说，我们现在是一个改变的时机，我们教会需要有结构上的改变，邀请他来做这个服事，他欣然的答应了。那他虽然经过这么多年的服事呢，他还是相信每个时间都是一个很好的改变的一个时机。只要我们抓住那个时机，我们就可以做很好的变化来 serve。那他要特别祝福感谢继续在 board 委员会里面服事的兄弟姐妹，祝福你们做更好的事工。
Holy conferencing is about having spiritual conversation about things that matter for the life of the congregation. We thank Vince for his words.
这个时间呢，是在分享说，用灵性的角度来分享我们教会生活里面我们特别关心的事情。我们怎么样透过我们的灵性、我们信仰的反省，来关心我们教会的事工。
We also invite any of you who are prompted to a word of response to Vince based on what he shared with you or anything that comes up for you.
我们听了 Vince 的这样的谈话分享，我们有没有人要对他做回应，对他所说的，或者其他的分享也可以。
I would just like to express great thanks and humility to you because you led with such wisdom, such concern, such caring for the church. Thank you.
Becky 特别谢谢 Vince， 他真的是很谦虚，一直很谦虚的在做他的服事。虽然他真的是很有能力那继续他会继续在 SBRB 继续贡献那我们特别的感谢他愿意有这样子服事的心。
Any other thoughts?
Well, so last week I was just passing on some positive gossip that I overheard from one of our past pastors about the faithfulness of Vince Wong. Before I knew you very well, when I was new to the church, and how he's just rock solid and there, rain or shine or sleet, or whether people acknowledged it or not, or whether anyone found out or not, he was just always there and faithful. And so I was passing that on to Wendy and was like, wow, that's amazing. I wish I knew that stuff like that about all the members at our church. So I wanted to pass that on to you, that there's some positive gossip going around. Thank you.
这个 Ari 呢，他就分享他听到闲言闲语，有人在讲 Vince 的闲言闲语，但是这个闲言闲语呢是非常正面的，因为这些话呢就是在讲 Vince 他这样子多年来真的是非常的信实，非常信实的一个基督徒总是都是在的任何有需要的时候他就是在，总是愿意提供帮忙。而且都不会去计较说到底有没有人注意到我所做的，他就是这样子默默的一直贡献这样子。
Any other thoughts? Now you have to share it for your pastor.
So it was very appropriate for Vince to share the scripture from Ecclesiastes, because I think I always come to Charge Conference and I always feel like things are changing again, right? Or it's sort of in the middle of it. And so I took a moment to just reflect on the fact that, wow, I'm in the midst of my 4th year here. And it's always been a very exciting thing at CCUMC. And you might be thinking, why exciting, Emily? Well, it's because of all the changes, right? Not one single year that I've been here have things been the same, right? Particularly in the formation of our pastoral staff and team and whatnot. And so this year, I just feel like something different, something new is ahead of us. And I want to say first how grateful and appreciative I am of each of you and for this congregation for your incredible patience through all the different ups and downs of the church, through your great sort of generosity in walking together, and then your care for one another and for me and for the work of SPRB. So thank you. I'm going to say that first. I also want to say how I'm especially grateful for the formation of this new pastoral team that has just happened in the last couple of months with the addition of Mei Na and also Pei Fang, who is not here today. I really want to say again, I don't think I've gotten an opportunity to say this publicly, how I really feel like this whole last year's process and the coming of Mei Na and Pei Fang are really, it was a Holy Spirit experience. And I especially think about it now during the Advent season when we talk about waiting. Because the whole year was about waiting, right? And waiting for the right person or persons to show up and trusting that God would provide in that way. They were not the first people that we interviewed. We interviewed others, and it was sort of, there was always this feeling, right? It makes me think of last week's sermon where it was very tempting to take matters into our own hands and to kind of be like, the first person comes, let's take them, because goodness knows we need somebody here. But we didn't, we waited. And it was really, to me, an experience of using the waiting to be shown God's faithfulness and providence for this church and for each of us here. So I want to give thanks for Mei Na and Pei Fang and just say already what a addition, wonderful addition they have been to this community. They brought new energy. They brought lots of experience that we can kind of trust in. And then they brought this sort of hope for all kinds of possibilities ahead of us. So I want to thank you for your hard work, Mei Na, already. Even just this last week, I was like, oh yeah, you have to translate. And then she's like, okay, I'll try it, right? And I want to continue that and just say, it has not been an easy last year in particular, but it hasn't been an easy 3 years. Not just for me, but I think for many of you, as things have been changing and transitioning all the time. And so I really do want to echo kind of the thanks for Vince. Gosh, it's true, so steady. And so, I don't know, this sort of, if there's anybody that I know that does administration well, and with sort of this calm finesse, it would be Vince, right? Just this grace that he brings to the ministry of administration, which I personally do not like all that much, right? And just trustworthy. But also, all the work of SPRB, gosh, how many times they've met. I had to convince you, Lander, no, we're not going to be meeting 12 times this coming year. We've come out of that, don't worry. So there's so many people that have just pitched in over the last years just to ensure that we are steady and moving forward in this journey of faith. So as I look forward and as we look forward to New Year, I want to say I feel really hopeful for what's before us. Hopeful for the sense of growth that we've longed for and that we continue to long for, that will happen within us and amongst us, but also around us. I'm hopeful for the ways our discipleship will deepen and be transformed, and I'm hopeful for the ways that we'll connect with others beyond, as Bert always says, beyond our walls, and to really make an impact and commitment to this community that we are gifted to be in. So I want to end with just saying I have a few calls though as I look forward to this new time, right? Because a lot of people would say to me, wow, Pei Feng and Mena are here. I feel so tired. I've really worked hard over these last couple years, and now I would like to rest. Right? And I want to say you have worked. We have all worked really hard over this last year. Don't stop now. That's what I would like to say first. The new pastoral staff that's here and the team that's together isn't here to do the work that we can do ourselves, right? And we have done things this last year that I think many of us thought, oh, I don't know how to do that, or I can't do that, but you did it. So please continue to grow and see how God meets you in that growth. I want to say please continue to love and care for each other. I was really excited over the launching of our shepherding teams in the last year, and give thanks to our shepherds who do this as a spiritual ministry of care. Not just calling and just ticking off, okay, yes, Al's here, and Walter's here, John's here, but really actually connecting. And that was witnessed to last week, a couple weeks ago, when Gloria became a member. And when I asked her, who do you want to stand with you? And she said, my shepherd. I want my shepherd to stand with me. To me, that was a witness to the ministry. And finally, I want to say, be open to the new possibilities that God will bring our way, right? We know that God works in mysterious ways. We know God works in ways that sometimes we don't really prefer, and we don't even particularly like. But be open to how God might be leading us in this coming new year. And I feel hopeful and excited, and I pray that you do too.
Amen.
Amen.
And in the spirit of holy conferencing. Oh, you're going to address that.
I will just recap very quickly. Pastor Emily 呢，她特别对 Vince 刚刚所分享的改变非常的于心有戚戚焉，因为这4年来没有一年是一样的，她的这个教会的过渡时期一直都在那里，所以她的改变一直都是有的。但是呢，她很感谢上帝的带领。那么第一个，她觉得很感谢的就是有多了2位教牧同工。那我们在一起有讨论，有一起激荡，这是非常棒的一个团队的经验。那么其实第一个他感谢的是我们的会友一直以来在这个教会，在这个过渡的时期所展现的这个耐心还有支持。有的时候好，教会有时候好，有时候不好，但是大家一起同心来经过这样的一些阶段。那么第二个呢，他觉得说，上帝呢是很现实的，他会在这样子不断变动的时间里面呢，会为我们预备前面的道路，会装备我们这样子。那么他特别强调说，我们的会友，他期待我们的会友有更多的门徒灵命上的成长，不是只有是会友来做礼拜，而是有门徒生命的这样子的会友。然后呢，特别他会希望说我们在外长方面有更多的努力，这样我们不只是在这里聚会，我们还会把我们的关怀到我们的社区里面去。所以他也特别勉励我们会有之前呢，我们都有已经在做的服事，不要因为教牧同工来了就不做了，我们还是要继续操练自己能够做的事。那同工的部分呢，他们也有他们需要做的事情。那特别他提到这个牧养小组的部分，他是在强调说，我们的会友应该是互相关怀这个有真实的那个好像慈神爱所这样子锁在一起的那样子的关怀，不是好像只有在点名这样子，所以他希望这个我们可以继续的加强这样。那最后他是充满期待的，他相信上帝会在明年会继续用他奇妙的方式带领我们的教会走前面的道路。
So, in the spirit of holy conferencing, any thoughts or responses to your pastor's comments? Or in Aries terminology, any holy gossiping?
有没有其他的对牧师的谈话有什么其他的回应？
We'll sit and meditate with those words for the time to come. And I get the last word. I see on the agenda for the closing remarks.
议会最词。
So I just want to lift up, appreciate what Vince shared in his scripture reading from Ecclesiastes about time and timing. And I don't know if all of you know, I know some of you know that Emily was at Buena Vista at our church for 10 years before coming here to CCUMC. And your gain was our loss. we grieved deeply when the bishop appointed her here.
首先要感谢Vince 的对于传道书的分享，他也非常的有同感。那么他特别提到说 ，Emily 牧师本来是在他的教会呢已经服侍10年，他说我们是得到，但是他们是损失了。
But as you know, and so I think in our congregations we go through different things. The timing, the events may be the same, but the timing of what people experience are different. ，timing is different.
就是说时机是不一样的，有时候我们有，有时候我们没有，这样的一个意思。有时候像以前我们没有 Emily 牧师他们有，现在我们有，他们没有。但是呢，我们就在这个不同的时机里面，都是在做服事。
The way we're organized as a conference now, we're in circuits, and we have had the privilege. Emily and I are in the same circuit in this area. It's our estuary circuit, which includes CCUMC, Lake Park, Korean Methodist in Oakland, Twin Towers and Lake Merritt.
OK， 所以他今天很高兴可以来这边主持会议，因为跟 Emily 牧师是同一属一个小教区的这个里面的同工。这个小教区总共有5个教会组成。
So we get to meet periodically and share our ministries together. And I can say I've been quite proud of Emily to be your pastor here. As one who served with us for many years, I'm very excited by the ministry that you are involved in here. And this is, I guess, my first occasion to be able to be with you to express that to you.
那他呢，特别这个教区的这个小组呢，他常常碰面来分享自己在教会里面做的事工，还有一些牧会的点滴这样子。那他特别是以林牧师为傲哈，他觉得他在这里做了非常好的工，然后可以跟大家真的是同心在这里做服事的工作，这样有开展了许多的不一样的可能。
I had a chance to be at your fundraising dinner for the Ugandan ministry just about a month ago or so, and I was very, very impressed by the work you're doing and the ministry, and of course made my contribution.
在11月2号的时候 ，Michael 牧师他也有来参加我们的牧管参会，对 Uganda 这个事工的支持，他真的是对我们所做的事工真的是印象非常的深刻，非常的感动。当然他也有奉献。
And back to Vince's reference to the Ecclesiastes text, I'm reminded that there's 2 phrases for time. There's God's time, we refer to to Kairos time, and there is Chronos time, man's time, human's time. And it's important for us to always be attentive to Kairos time, to God's time.
所以刚刚Vince 分享的这个 timing 的信息呢，其实我要在这边提出的是，我们要把握上帝给我们的机会。那一个字叫 Kairos， 那是中文叫契机，就是好像一个可以开展新希望、新机会的一个时间点。我们要把握那样一个改变的时间点。
And so it's very evident to me here by this church conference that you're moving in God's time. God is with you. God is doing new things for you, raising up the laity of the church, and doing new things, bringing a new pastor to the congregation. And so just the word of encouragement and the word of also support and enthusiasm for the ministry that you have here to keep on going. And in your pastor's words, don't stop here. Keep loving and caring for one another, and be open to God's mystery, where God's leading you, as long as you stay with God's time in the future.
那麦克牧师看到，从今天他才这里跟我们一起开会，他就看到，真的上帝，我们真的是 真的是在把握上帝给我们这样的一个契机，跟上帝一起同工。那看到我们许多愿意乐意服侍的兄弟姐妹，我们有新来的教牧同工，然后我们会在这里继续学习，互相相爱，作为一个真实的信徒的团体。
And so we are going to close with closing hymn, the last verse, God of our life.
所以我们现在一起来唱避讳的诗歌。第34首的第3节。
Lead us forward.
Why don't we all stand in a circle?
让我们一起站起来做祷告。
As there's time for all things, I'm just going to say that it's time for Vince to say the prayer. Let's all bow. It is Advent, and I can only think, Lord, to call you our great God and our wondrous God. We give you praise and just thank you, Lord, for the ways you've transformed us and you've grown us this past year. We thank you for the commitment of the leaders who have stepped forward, and we just pray that you be with them and give them wisdom and give them guidance as they shepherd us. We celebrate the new members and those who have come to our place, Lord, to your place, that we might be a home for them and be their spiritual partners. And we also pray for those who have left us or are distant from us, that you will continue to watch over them, walk with them wherever they are. And so, Lord, as we go from this place, we just pray that you inspire us, that you lead us, and be with us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.